Hi, I'm Carolina, your Reiki womb healer, and we are doing What is Fertility Reiki series. This series is so important because I am now encountering a lot of people that don't know what Reiki is, and they don't know how it can be applied for fertility. That's why we're birthing this series and why we're going to take you along on what is fertility Reiki, how can we use it, what are chakras, how can you connect to your spiritual team, what's the difference of being high vibe versus having consciousness. And then we're going to do a whole episode on a Reiki womb activation. And this is going to bless your womb, clear out negative energy, and allow you to have activated divine feminine energy for you to move forward and conceive with. So you deserve to heal. You deserve to have your baby, and the babies are coming. I hope you feel energized during this series. I hope that you know that you can come back and replay these episodes anytime you would like. And we invite you to take a look inside the Make a Baby membership for free for 3 days. Just go ahead and take a look at the show notes or in the email if you're receiving this episode. And we would love for you to come and experience what Reiki is inside there. And if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot me a voice note on Instagram. My handle is the Carolina Sotomayor. I would love to hear from you. Ask me any questions. If you are going to choose to work with any Reiki healer, make sure you ask all of your questions. They should be answering them for you. So let's dive in. So I pulled my audience, and this is the series of questions of what fertility Reiki is, what is Reiki, and their most common questions around it in this episode. So let's dive in. What is Reiki? So, Reiki is our life force energy that exists in your body. This is the life force energy that makes your lungs expand, the grass grow. It is what makes you alive versus something that is not. The Reiki practitioner will harness this energy and deliver this energy to you, amplifying that existing energy within you and allowing it to go to different parts of your body for you to feel more uplifted, to promote healing, reduce stress, and align your chakras, which we will dive into more. So, this originated originally in Japan well over 100 years ago, and it was passed down. With Reiki, there's different degrees or different levels of Reiki. And with that, it's really important to understand what those levels are. Level 1 is self Reiki. Level 2 is what you need to give Reiki to yourself and others. Reiki 3 is master level. And then they're depending on the lineage of the Reiki that is being practiced or being taught, it could have higher degrees of Reiki. So, what is a lineage of Reiki? There is the original form of Reiki, which is called the traditional Usui Reiki. And Usui, Mikao Usui, was the gentleman who invented Reiki. And he passed it down to others. And how they do that is through attunements. Attunements is the installation of the Reiki energy and the ability to heal within your body. So each lineage of Reiki has its own style of delivering Reiki, has its own style of giving attunements and passing it on, and also how many levels. And there might be some differences of principles or even symbols. Depending on what level of Reiki, there might be different symbols that are considered sacred that are given to you to work with. The most common lineage that is practiced across the world is called Holy Fire, and different variations of that. There's Holy Fire 1, 2, and 3. I am attuned to 4 different lineages, and I practice Kundalini, and I'll go into that in a few minutes. So this will be highly technical. It's just like, you need a new car battery, and it's like going into all the different brands of car battery. You don't need to know all the different brands, which one is going to be best for me. You're going to find the right healer for you by feeling, by watching a video or by a referral from a friend and how that person makes you feel. Did you end up here listening to the podcast because of a referral from a friend, or you might have seen me on TikTok, or maybe you like the sound of my voice, which is a huge compliment if you do. If you feel connected to the healer, then that's okay. You don't need to go OCD on finding what's the best lineage because there's not a best lineage. There's not one that's better than the other. And again, this is my occupation. So again, I'm going to spend the hours, years studying where do I want to expand into. When you're on the receiving end as a client, that's not your job. It's my job to know all of these technical details, but I like you to know all of the things. So a lot of my clients become students and they learn Reiki themselves. In our Make a Baby membership, we do teach level 1 Reiki, which is for the ability for you to learn Reiki yourself. And that's really powerful to be able to manage your anxiety, your fears, your worries in real time. So that's super powerful to do. Okay, so my particular lineage of Reiki is Kundalini, and it's derived from Mother Earth. There's a lot of things that people say Kundalini awakening and things like that, and that's a whole different conversation. But for me, everything goes back to Mother Earth, which is the ultimate mother. She's created the land that we live in, the planet. Our womb is from Mother Earth. And I love all things mother because I love being a mom. I love helping you become moms. And for me, that is what has felt like the easiest way to give Reiki. So I always go ahead and refer back to that. The other lineages, Crystal Reiki, Holy Fire 1, 2, 3, 4 in Karuna. That's the lineage. And then I have traditional Usui, 1, 2, 3 in Master. And then I guess the fifth, I know how to do sacred childbirth with Reiki. So I have that. So I'm an all in kind of person. I like to be certified in all the things. Now, I think I'm done for a couple years with certifications and just refining more of my mediumship and connecting more with spirit babies. Not all Reiki practitioners or Reiki masters are psychics or mediums or can connect to the other side or see inside wombs. Some can see auras, some can tell you what food you need to eat. I had a student that I taught once, and she could tell you what food you were deficient in and what mineral you were missing. I have another who could talk to animals or speak to your totem animal. I can't do that. So there you go. So the next question is Reiki a religious practice? No, it is not. However, Reiki does have its principles, and Reiki does have, for me, is a lifestyle because it is my occupation and it has led me to live a better, more quiet life where I'm more balanced and more grounded versus I used to be a walking hurricane. So as I became more healed, I became more grounded, and it was because of the Reiki. So Reiki is not a religious practice. This is where you'll see if you Google Reiki or is Reiki safe on the internet, you're going to see some really wild stuff out there. And that's some people say, like, oh, I was overtaken by a spirit, da 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 da. Oh, I don't practice Reiki for XYZ. I've had all the videos sent to me. Reiki is safe, and Reiki can be given to animals, to babies, to newborns, to babies in utero, can be given to situations that happened a long time ago, past, present, and future. So Reiki is gentle and it promotes healing and warmth. It is the healing frequency. And so it is safe. Now, what is important to understand is that the way that Reiki is safe, it depends on the practitioner. When you do get Reiki, they open up your chakra system and they also need to close it. And if it is left open, that can leave you be susceptible to like psychic attacks or spiritual attacks. So they have to close your system after they've done all the healing and raised it, opened it, raise your vibration, let all the things be released, and then they need to close it. If left open, that means things can attach to you. But you're quite also powerful to open up your own chakra system, and the same thing happen depending on how much power you give away. So that's just not just in Reiki. So it's really important to make sure you're also exercising or you learn good energetic protection and energetic hygiene. And that's part of what I'm doing this educational series on, is that there's a lot that people live not knowing that they should know. So how does Reiki work? Fantastic question. So Reiki transcends time and space. It can be done in person or distance. And it involves quantum physics. So basically, if I set the intention and you are in, let's say, Rhode Island, and I'm here in Nebraska, I can connect as long as you are consenting to your higher self into your energetic body and give you distance Reiki. And I can do that with my hands, my third eye, with my eyes, and I can send Reiki and connect you through that connection. And it is just as a powerful distance Reiki as it is in person. If you do get in person Reiki, you should be clothed. You should never, ever, ever take off your clothes. You should also always feel safe. And it's usually given to you on a massage table. People can lay their hands on you or hover over you, but they should never massage you because that's like a whole different modality. That's massage therapy. And with Reiki, they should never manipulate muscles. So that's very clear. Like in some states, to touch a person in person, like to do an in person session, you need to have a license, and that might be like occupational, physical therapy, or massage license. And I know legislation in certain states are moving towards that more rapidly. So if you receive in person Reiki, just understand that they have to follow certain rules. Next question. What can be treated with Reiki? Anything. A cut, a tummy ache, which is what my little asks for all the time. He's like, I have a tummy ache. And I'm like, you don't have a tummy ache. You just ate too fast or ate too much. And we move the energy out and from whatever is feeling bottled up his little belly, and then we move it out. So like it's with energy centers, which are your chakras, they should be all open and flowing. And we want them to be flowing from one to another and not just stuck or have too much energy in one area. So we use Reiki to help you conceive. If you're having surgery, you can have Reiki given to you before, during, and after, and that will help the healing process. Headaches, grounding, anxiety, panic attacks, worry, fears, to manifest goals, any physical ailment, Reiki can be used to help you treat that. And it doesn't interfere with any medicine, any fertility plan, or any medical treatment plan. It will never interfere with any type of medicine because, again, it's energy. So you don't have to worry about a complication and any that it might interfere with anything. Who can practice Reiki? Anyone that gets certified. And not all certifications are equal. I'm a little bougie and I'm going to be really honest. Not every healer is a great teacher. I've had some really great healers, and then some of the teachers were kind of mediocre. And then I've had really great teachers, and then they sucked at healers. Like some of were highly technical and very like wise in their delivery and the mechanics of this is where you should place your head in if a person's on a table, and the other one was more of like the philosophy side and this is how you do it and this is how you feel it. And so then it's good to have more than one teacher if you choose this as a profession. Don't always stay with the same teacher. And also, depending on the lineage, can also determine the price. And not every Reiki certification gave me the same education. I had a good background because I had paid more, and I have taken weekend courses where the classes were 8 hours long. And then I studied on my own. So I knew what a chakra was. I knew what an energy field was versus like I did the Kundalini Reiki, and it was the cheapest certification I have ever done. It was like $50 attunement, whereas I paid $1,025 for Reiki Master. And that was 3 days. And they were 8-hour days, sometimes 10 hours. And the Reiki attunements with Kundalini had no education. So you versus $1,000 certification, 3-day course in person, or a $50 attunement with no education. And just like, here's a pamphlet, PDF booklet, and it's very clear. So you have to make sure you understand like what you're getting. And also anyone that's giving you Reiki, you can ask them How many years have you been certified? I mean, just like if someone's going to go do your taxes, how many years have you been doing this? Ask them. They should be able to understand your question and ask like how much experience do they have? How many people have you served? What happens during a Reiki session? What happens during a Reiki session is really depends on what type of session you're going to have, and also can vary from practitioner to practitioner. If you're doing online Reiki with me, we're going to set an intention for the session. I'm going to ask, what outcome are you looking for? Do you have any pain anywhere? Based upon your intention, I might offer a few other things that maybe other people don't, such as I might pull a card or we might do some oracle cards. I'm going to try to connect with spirit baby. I'm going to scan your chakras, going to scan your womb. And when we do that, we're looking for what chakras are open, which ones are closed, and are we looking for any patterns, or like, are you using your upper chakras too much and not your lower? Or are you using your lower and not your upper? And over a number of sessions, is there a pattern? Is there like, are you coming in with the same chakras blocked? Okay, what are we doing? Do we need to make some lifestyle changes? I will always start at the bottom of your feet and work my way up through your chakras and then come back down. And then I will scan you again, make sure everything is clear, and then I will close you and make sure you're grounded and end our session and allow question and answers. That's usually how I do it. An in-person session might look a little different depending on like what their Reiki room looks like. If they have a massage table, a table warmer, do they offer cards? Do they set an intention? So that could look a little bit different. How long does a Reiki session last? It could be 30, 60, 90 minutes. I've done 3-hour Reiki sessions, which are really intense, and that was to help a woman go into labor. So it just depends on the intention. We were trying to induce labor. So she wanted to naturally induce labor versus having a scheduled induction, which ended up working really, really well. Our next question are, what are the benefits of Reiki? Well, Reiki is really awesome because no matter where you're at, having a better day, having like one of your best days, or you're having one of your worst days, it's always a good day to get Reiki because it's going to raise your vibration. And whatever is not known is known to be hurting you, or that you might be carrying that's a lower vibration, is going to come to the surface. So in a session, you can cry, you could laugh, you could cough, you could yawn, and the energy is going to exit. So Reiki goes through all 5 layers of your body, which are your physical, your mental, your emotion, your etheric, and your spiritual body. And all 5 layers, it's a very efficient way of healing, are going to be healed with Reiki at one time. And the Reiki is a higher vibration. So anything that's a lower vibration is going to be pushed out and pushed to the surface so that it can be dealt with and it can be felt. And then you release it. Now, how much you can heal in a session is really up to the subconscious mind, and also how much you are ready to purge. I had done a lot of work when I was ready to conceive and I was trying to conceive, and I went and got my Reiki session. I had been doing a lot of talk therapy, a lot of grief therapy. I was energetically doing the work outside of that session, got the first Reiki session, and then I was pregnant the next month. That's why I do what I do. It's because it does work, but it all depends on your readiness to heal and allow the energy to move through your body. I was ready to be done being the sad girl. I was the sad girl because I had lost my dad and I was just ready to move on. So for me, with Reiki, it allowed my lungs to physically widen and expand so I could take a full breath, whereas I felt like for a year and a half, I couldn't. How long does a Reiki session benefits last? You can feel the benefits of Reiki session between 5 to 7 days if you're a balanced person. You're maintaining that vibration by doing like pink salt baths, cutting your cords, drinking your water, doing all the, healthy routine things, sleeping at night while drinking all your water. If you go get a Reiki session and then you go to Costco, you go to Walmart, and you're around, you know, Debbie Downer and Negative Nancy, your high vibe is going to be so zapped out so quick that you're going to be like, why did I even do that? It's because you could be around people that will suck your energy. You need to make sure that you are bubbling your energy and you're choosing who you're around and what environment you're putting yourself into. So, a good session with a well balanced intention, like after steps, 5 to 7 days, is a good target. How often should I get a Reiki session? It's up to you. I go once a quarter. It's like kind of like my oil change. I'll go to what I call my Reiki mother. She's the person that helped me conceive, and she cuts my cords, rebalances my chakras because, everyone needs their own healer, everyone needs their own therapist. And I think everyone should go when they feel more inclined. Like I feel out of alignment and I don't know what's going on and I want to feel better. How many Reiki sessions do I need to conceive? Oh, wow. That's the big question. I get that asked a lot. It could be one, it could be 10. It just depends on when your Reiki baby wants to come, your spirit baby wants to come, how much you're willing to let go, how much you're willing to change your mindset. That's really, really important. Can Reiki be combined with other medical treatments? Most certainly. There are a few hospitals that actually have Reiki inside of it. Reiki practitioners also have hospice programs have Reiki as well to help transition patients to the other side. A Reiki can be combined with any medical treatment. What does a Reiki attunement involve? Depending on the lineage that you do, if it's traditional, it would involve a person sitting. The client that's receiving the attunement would be sitting upright in a chair. And then the person that's giving them the attunement, they would literally blow air into their crown chakra. And then they would say the attunement and they would do this for a certain period of time. And that is actually pretty intense. And that took, I want to say like 45 minutes to an hour. So it's a lot of traditional Usui Reiki is the more masculine form of Reiki. It's more physically demanding than if you do any other lineages that I have practiced. If you do the more modern, the more evolved forms of Reiki, lineages of Reiki are through meditation. So there's no touching of the body. It's all given through holding space for the client so that they can receive the attunement. Are there any side effects of Reiki? Yes. When you get Reiki, you can yawn, you could cry, you could burp. Anything that's natural that would leave the body, meaning like the urge to pee, the urge to poop. I've had clients that needed to have a large bowel movement after a session. They're like, I gotta go poop. The other thing is that they could fall asleep. They might be really drowsy. Usually they have like the best sleep that night because they're releasing so much like burden. So they usually go and they have like the best sleep that night. They also feel tingles. They can feel like waves of warmth have moved through them during the session. And they will feel like afterwards that they're a little tingly or they're floating or the word blissful. Like, oh my God, I'm so happy right now. And they're like just on a cloud nine. Can I receive Reiki remotely? Yes, you can. Reiki, it can be done through distance. Some people do it over the phone. I do it over Zoom. You can receive it via meditation. Yes, that can be done. What should I expect after a Reiki session? You can expect that you're going to be tired. Sometimes I get really hyper after a Reiki session. Depends if I went into it already like, I'm so excited. I'm just going to get a tune up and I wasn't feeling very burdened. Whereas like I'm going into a Reiki session and I'm feeling heavy and I'm like letting go of stuff and like the vibe is different. So if I am going in and I'm releasing things, I'm definitely going to be sleeping a lot more that night versus like if like I'm manifesting, I'm in flow of creation and I'm birthing things into the world and creating things in my business and I'm feeling very empowered, then I might come out like even more hyper than I normally am. So there's that. Can animals benefit from Reiki? Yes. I have 3 puppies, Rico, Luna, and Pig. Yeah, our youngest puppy, he is, oh my gosh, he might be 10 months now. And they all love Reiki. Can babies receive Reiki? Yes, in utero and postpartum. So all of our postpartum mamas, they get sessions with me and we can give them Reiki even if they're breastfeeding or if they're formula feeding while they're holding them. The babies love them. When our pregnant mamas receive Reiki, the babies tend to move to wherever I am focusing my hands on their bellies, in person and in distance Reiki. So, how do I find a qualified Reiki practitioner? That's a good question. My best bet is going on Instagram and looking up like hashtag your city Reiki, like Omaha Reiki. You can find me, or like Miami or New York, and then find them. Look at their page. Or since Reiki can be done anywhere, you might find something on TikTok. Person might be in Japan or France or Italy, wherever, and you can get Reiki through distance. Or you can go on YouTube. If you don't want to pay, you can find Reiki people there. You can watch our videos on TikTok here. Or you can join the Make a Baby membership. We would love to have you if you're trying to get pregnant, or if you want to get pregnant in the future, we'd love to have you. Now, so what is technically fertility Reiki? The last question. Fertility Reiki is something I invented, that I pioneered because I have gone first. I got pregnant after being referred twice in 1 week to get Reiki. After that one Reiki session, I was pregnant with our son, Ollie, who is now 7. That is the story that started it all. Fertility Reiki is me taking my gifts where I can see inside your wombs and see the blockages that are blocking you from conceiving, and actually applying the modality that I have mastered in multiple lineages and applying it to your healing of your womb that covers emotional safety, pleasure, worthiness, self-mastery, self-love, connection to your soul, grounding, and teaching you how to heal. So those are the principles. But fertility Reiki is just really taking Reiki and applying it strictly to the womb and aligning the rest of your chakra system afterwards. Our wombs are our homes. They are the portal in which we connect to ourselves, to the world. We create and birth everything that is in our lives from our wombs. And it is so important to know that you are the most powerful person in your life. You get to create the realities that you live in, and that comes from your womb. So the more that we heal our wombs now, the less complicated fertility, pregnancy, birth, and postpartum will be. And the less likely that all of the other garbage that we had to endure will disrupt those very vulnerable phases of motherhood. I know, because that's the hill that I will die on, because it's exactly my story. In my 20s, I was assaulted and I had an abortion. And I promised myself the day that that happened, I had my abortion, that I would forever change my life. So when I did choose to have a child, and I was married and according to the times that I wanted to be a mom, that I would be the person that that child deserved to have. And that is my story. And I have then since started healing my womb. Didn't know it at the time. I was exactly doing that. Changing who I was, becoming the person I always dreamt to be. That is where it all started. And now having this space and pioneering this movement where women have the options to heal and be the best forms of themselves, to end generational trauma, change beliefs that limit us, stop generational patterns that really are painful so your children don't have to endure, end the anxiety and the fear and the worry. That's why I use Reiki. That's why I teach Reiki. That's why I teach women how to heal themselves inside the Make a Baby membership, because it's so important. You are the start of your whole family tree, and you have the power to shape it however you would like. And that's really what fertility Reiki is, allowing you to birth your children the way that you want and conceive them the way you want, and also have the power to think about how you want to raise them, what values you want to teach them, how do you want to love them, how do you want to be different than the past. So it's not enough to just think about it. I'm giving you the tools so you can. The babies are coming, and I can't wait to see how this all unfolds for you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. And I can't wait to hear from you. I would love to know what you think about this podcast episode. Please shoot me a DM on Instagram at the Carolina Sotomayor, and I would love to hear from you. Until next time, let the Reiki flow. Frustrated being told you are fine by your doctor, exhausted from negative pregnancy tests every month, wanting a deeper connection on your fertility journey with your spirit baby? The Make a Baby membership is exactly what you need. Using Reiki will help you connect to your spirit baby, heal the trapped emotions blocking fertility, and support you in our life-changing community. With over 90 Reiki babies, we invite you to try the Make a Baby membership for free. Check it out in the show notes. Let's get you pregnant.